Oh, good. People are already here. Hello, hello, hello. First, let's test the volume. What is the sound like? Testing, testing, testing. One, two, three. Testing. Hello, Paul. Yes, I have arrived. Testing, testing, testing. One, two, three. It's great today. Okay, we worked on it. It turned out that there's just a little button here that says turn the volume up. But last time we didn't know. Okay, good. Fantastic. All right, fantastic. Great. Okay, we'll wait just another minute or two. But if you got questions now, you can go ahead and ask. I have a couple of questions that were sent to me through, I guess, Facebook. Okay, yes, good. All right, everything's good. All right, and let's see. All right, okay, all right. So let's go ahead and start. So first of all, I think it should be clear to people, or at least I should make it clear about our process. I've gotten a couple of questions, and it's mainly from people who don't really know about Freedom Speakers International. They don't know about our process. All they know is work with North Korean refugees. And I think one of the most important things to know is that FSI is North Korean refugee centered. It means that they decide what it is they want to study, the process, and even who they study with. That means they get to choose the volunteers that they're going to study with. And this is a great process. It really empowers the North Korean refugees. They feel like that they are the ones who are in control of their education. And it also makes them more active in their studies instead of just passively waiting for the mentor or tutor to do everything. Okay, so I say that because everything I say today should be related to how North Korean refugees are in control of their education as they study in Freedom Speakers International. All right, so we're going to have our 20th English speech contest. It will be held on August 31st, 2024 in Seoul. It will not be online. Sorry for those of you who want to watch it online. There are reasons for that. You can ask me about that a bit later. But let me start off with some of the questions that I've received. The first question that I received is, what does mentoring actually involve? Okay, so first of all, as I said, FSI is North Korean refugee centered. That means the North Korean refugees decide how and who they want to study with. That means I'm not like some gatekeeper just saying, no, you don't qualify. We're not going to let you in unless there's some red flag, okay? But as long as there's not a red flag, as long as there's nothing to show whatever, you're currently in prison or some other problems in your life that will make you a terrible volunteer, then we'll let most people in. It's true. Now, it doesn't mean the refugees have to keep studying with you. But the thing is, let's make it clear that it's refugee centered. That means you basically apply to the North Korean refugees. You submit your application information, you submit your availability, you should tell us about the way you would mentor, and then they review the resumes, and then they choose the person or people that they want to study with. So that means that there's no set, you must study this number of times or this number of hours, that you need to mentor them once a week or twice a week or 3 times a week. Okay, yes, Paul says it's an honor to be selected, and it is. Not everyone gets selected, by the way. Most people do, however. So that means you submit yourself to the refugees to have them choose. Now, let's say you are available every day between whatever, 3 to 9 p.m. you are available. You're going to be very popular. You'll probably be chosen first because for some North Korean refugees, there's this feeling of, the volunteer is giving his or her time, so I should, they don't want to bother you. So someone who's available a lot, and you clearly state that in your application, you'll probably be chosen quickly. Now, on the other hand, we had a volunteer, nice guy, businessman in South Korea who wanted to help. I would have preferred a donation, but anyway, he wanted to help. And so his availability was every Thursday between 2 to 3 p.m. at Gangnam Station, exit 11. Okay, so he didn't have much availability, and as a result, he did not get chosen. Because think about the person who's available and the person who's not really available. It's much more comfortable to study with someone who is available. Now, in sports, they'll say part of your ability is your availability. So, and it's true with us also. Part of your ability is your availability. So, I hope that's clear for the first question, that there's no set limit about the number of hours and time that you need to commit to this. Is that you present yourself and the refugees choose. Okay, so then the second question is, what is the time commitment? So it should be clear now that it's not a certain number of hours per week and it's not a certain length of time. Now, we generally, we'll say that for each session that you should meet for at least 60 minutes, at least plan for 60 minutes. Some of our volunteers who are in our, who've been studying with us, mentoring with us for a little while, some of them have 2 and 3 hour marathon sessions. Now, we don't necessarily recommend that. We're not against it, but we just say that no one should feel obligated to do more than what you said you could do. Okay? So if you're available twice a month, say it. If you're available 3 times a month, every whatever Thursday, Friday, say that. But please be ready for the time that you say that you are available. We've had some people who they stated their availability, and as soon as they were selected, they suddenly changed the availability. Okay, so that doesn't really help. Okay, so as far as the hours per week, there's no set limit. Just present yourself. There's not a specific length of time, although we recommend at least 1 hour for each session. And then just to explain a little more about our particular process is, so we're going through the application process right now. And then in July, that will be the time that you will start to study with the to mentor a North Korean refugee. And that is the time for you to look at the speech with them, to confirm that the refugee understands everything in the speech, to confirm that, to finalize the script. And so we set the July 1st, okay, to July 31st as the time to finalize the speech. And then August is the time to practice. And that's where body language and pronunciation and just about how they're going to present themselves, just practice. That's the time for that. Okay, so again, not a certain amount of time, but you should state your availability. Okay, now here's a comment. North Korea seems like a dangerous place. I'm never gonna go there. I prefer South Korea. Okay, I'm with you. Okay, I also, I don't have any plans to go to North Korea. I will not go to a slave state. I'm not worried about the particular danger, but I'm not going to a slave state. I prefer to meet North Koreans in freedom instead of meeting them when they are slaves of the regime. But as far as our program is concerned, that's okay. You don't have to go to North Korea. The mentoring can be done online. It can be done at our office in the Mapo district of Seoul, not far from Hongik University, Yonsei University. So we're not there, but we're like down the street from them. So you don't have to go to North Korea in order to volunteer with Freedom Speakers International, and the co-founder will never go either. So it's okay. All right, so that's the fine. Okay, now let's open it up. If anyone has any other questions, I wrote up an FAQ on my Patreon, Casey Lartigue on Patreon. You can also access it at Freedom Speakers International on Patreon. I'm sure I've uploaded and posted in other places of the internet, but those are the places where I'm updated often, and I will update after today. And I said, first of all, I want questions from people who really are interested in volunteering, not the curious people and others. So first of all, we'll go with the people who want to volunteer. If you have any questions, if there are none, then we'll move to the people who are just curious. They just want to know something about the speech contest. And then after we go through the curious people, then the befuddled people. These are the ones who they follow us, but they don't quite understand what we're doing, and they get confused very easily, or they just bring up irrelevant things. So then the befuddled people. And then finally, if any of you trolls showed up, any of you people who like to attack, we'll take your questions also. But first of all, if you have a question about volunteering, please state it right now. Okay. And I'll wait a minute and hope that somebody will post something. I should have some music playing now. Okay, wow, we got 20 people watching. That's great. Okay, so none of the applicants or potential applicants have anything to ask. Are there any curious people who have something they want to ask about the contest? Okay, I'll wait again. Okay, no curious people. Okay, befuddled people. Do any of the befuddled people have any questions that they want to ask? Now, I think the befuddled people don't like to admit that they're befuddled. So it's like ugly people don't admit they're ugly. Stupid people never know they're stupid. So befuddled people probably don't like to admit that they are befuddled. But if you're out there, now's the time for you to ask a question without any shame. Okay, FSI co-founder Ungu Lee has now shown up. Thank you so much, Ungu. Okay, and what's it, Taco? Okay, is asking a question. Any trailers or information for the upcoming speech contest? Okay, so yeah, in fact, on my Patreon, I also have posted, first of all, a speech by Tae Young Ho. He's a former North Korean diplomat who became the first North Korean defector directly elected to South Korea's National Assembly. You can watch his video. We also have a nice video of some of our previous winners, so you can see some of the fantastic people who have spoken at our speech contest. And then information, please follow me on Patreon. Please follow FSI on Patreon. We also post some things on Facebook, but not as reliably as at our Patreon accounts. Okay, then the befuddled people don't have any questions. Okay, will this live be available to share after? Okay, maybe, it depends, but probably will be posted. Our team member, she hates when I call her name, but Dahe will be the one to post it. Actually, she's the one who will, set all this up. So I'm sure that it will be posted. Okay. All right, one person asked Dad. Okay, this might be one of the trolls, or maybe on the wrong discussion. Okay, any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, all right, so on Sunday, June 23rd, we're gonna have our official orientation. And so if you want to apply as a volunteer, go to our website, lovefsi.org. lovefsi.org, because so many North Korean refugees say that they love FSI, so we made a website with that. Also, follow us on Patreon. What kind of questions are you looking for? Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So now, if you want to participate, go ahead and apply, and the orientation will be on June 23rd, 10 a.m. Korea time. So I look forward to those of you who want to volunteer, filling out the application and then going to the orientation on Sunday. Okay, thank you so much.